Hello, scumbags. This is Vote of No Confidence. We are back again, and this is again a part of Star Wars Week, the wonderful week that we're literally just counting down the little days up until the Last Jedi. And for our my guest this week is one of the OG members of Rebel Scum, one of the big honchos here on it, Brock Smink. How you doing, buddy, Brock?
Oh, just living the life, just living the dream. Here
Living
I
the
am
dream.
on another show.
You make me extremely jealous of your background compared to my background. Again, the beigeness. You look like the wall is beige behind you, though, right?
Yeah, it is kind of beige.
Okay, so there
this would be you if you are a successful YouTuber.
So yeah, I just need to add the extra layer of the all the Star Wars knickknacks in my background.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing I need to do. But anyway, as per usual for Vote Conference, we get a topic and we have two sides to argue on. And Brock, would you like to set up what our topic for this week is?
Our topic today is should Princess Leia, the character, be recast in the Star Wars franchise?
And I believe, yes, go ahead.
I believe I'm saying no, and you're saying yes.
Correct. Yeah, James's fateful coin. Like I like to call it almost this two-faced coin, deciding about what's good and what's bad, what side we get. My side landed on the yes. So yeah, I'll start it off. Why not? Yeah, I think the thing with the tragedy just about Carrie Fisher dying and passing away before this this franchise could really close and they could put like a proper close onto her character is the problem that she got to do episode 8. We're going to see that. We're going to get to see all of her footage. We don't know what her last scene is, but bearing in mind of what they've already said already, how episode 9 was possibly supposed to be Leia's movie, right? And Luke is supposed to be, episode 8 is supposed to be Luke's movie. Like, it just seems like to me that Carrie put so much into this character of Princess Leia, right? She put so much creativity, so much awesomeness into the character of Leia that I feel like with Carrie passing, you kind of almost want to have Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm just say, hey, you put so much in this character. We don't just want to scrap the character. I think that they should go, hey, Carrie, we'll take the ball, we'll put it over that last little bit of yard line and close it off for you. So I do think that they should recast Leia and just do one final send off, like whether it's one of her friends or I don't know who he casts it. James does not want me to say Meryl Streep, so I'll avoid that.
But you just said it.
Yeah, I did. I said the magic word. But yeah, I feel like somebody should be recast as her so they could close off the character properly and go that extra yard to finish the character of Princess Leia in episode 9.
This is a sticky situation because even though I have the no, she should not be recast, which you think would be the winning argument, because every devoted Star Wars fan is like, no, that is sacrilege. Carrie Fisher is our princess. You cannot recast her. It is her role. Totally understandable, but we are in a new time where we could have a Luke movie. We're getting a Han movie. We could have a Leia movie. Like, I want to know what happened to these characters. Now we're stuck where we're like, maybe we can have, the simple solution to that is if you want to know more about Leia, we'll put out some books. We've already gotten a Princess Leia book. It's sorry, it can't be in movie. Maybe definitely in comics, in books, maybe a cartoon of some sort. We could do that. So, if you want more Leia, we can do it. Unfortunately, we can't put her in the movie. I know her family is cool with them digitally putting her back in through CG, like they did with Peter Cushing, and they already actually put her back. They put 19-year-old Carrie Fisher into Rogue One.
Yeah,
but I don't know if it's Kathleen Kennedy's choice. She has decided they're not going to do that. And you got to respect that. But, you got to take into consideration that the likelihood of this trilogy would have, if Carrie Fisher was still alive, her last movie would have been 9.
Yep.
Probably. So, we got to abide by how things were. It's now we've lost her. That's terribly tragic. But, we can't force anyone to be making more movies. Like, it's just Princess Leia. see, this character is so real to me that I can't deviate reality.
Yeah.
I mean, Carrie Fisher, she obviously respects what Star Wars did for her as a person, but like, if you've watched Bright Lights, the documentary, which I brought up several times on Rebel Scum podcast,
yeah,
Star Wars wasn't her life. Like, people like you and me, Rob, we would talk about Star Wars till our voices go hoarse. But for her, it's like, I think being a celebrity or someone of the part of the Hollywood elite, she'd probably be like, I don't care about these things. So it's like, you got to respect that. Like, how old was she when she passed? Almost 60.
I want to say 67, somewhere around there.
Really? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Harrison Ford's like 70, right?
Yeah, 70 something. Yeah.
Yeah. She's not criticized. She's an old lady. She doesn't want to do these things anymore.
Yeah.
So you got to respect that. Like, we were gonna lose her in the movies at some point.
Oh, she was actually 60 only. Wow. Okay. Oh. So yeah, much younger.
Yeah, but like as I started with this is a very sticky situation because I mentioned CG, and the things we can do with CG is insane. I mean, they put Arnold Schwarzenegger back into Terminator Salvation, which is an older movie now when you think about it. But it never hit me. It's like, oh, that's not him. That's some guy with his head on top. Like, it's amazing what we could do. So it's like, yeah, no, we will not do that. For Carrie Fisher, blah, 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 blah. We will never do that. But we could. So it's very hard to say no. Your thoughts?
Yeah, like I didn't want to lean into the CG reintegration like too much because like I know a lot of people really liked the Tarkin reanimation in Rogue One, but I myself was not a fan of it. I don't think that we're quite there yet in order to be able to do it to that degree. At least having one of those, like to have like an entire movie of like Tarkins, like that would probably look great. But I just think that when you actually like, if you put that Tarkin beside, actually, I don't know if they ever actually had Tarkin beside Ben Mendelsohn in Rogue One, did they? Like when they were actually like side by side, I thought they always cut between one or the other.
Yeah, they cut back and forth. Yeah.
They cut back and forth, and I felt like in that movie it would have even been a little bit more evident if you ever actually saw them face to face or standing beside each other. So I'm not really like, I don't think that's there yet anyway. But regardless of the fact, like I feel I'm going to lean into the fact that I think they should recast for 9 because the unfortunate thing is that there is still one more movie coming. Like, you know, Carrie Fisher's death, as big as it was not going to stop Episode 9 from happening. So, yeah, like that's why I almost feel like I 100% believe that she will be recast at some point, but in that Holden Ehrenreich sense that there will be somebody playing a young Princess Leia at some point, I think. But for Episode 9 specifically, like. Again, we have not seen Last Jedi yet. We're days away from seeing Last Jedi being there on Thursday, and it's going to be amazing. But judging by what we know, the fact that Leia is more than likely going to be in Episode 9 or was supposed to be in Episode 9, so they haven't shot anything like a death scene in Episode 8. Judging by that fact, I kind of feel like they should recast somebody, some friend of Carrie's or just somebody that really admired Carrie. You know, I'm not going to say the MS word again. Not multiple sclerosis, the other MS. I'm not going to say that word again, that name again, but just somebody to take over for Carrie in Episode 9 would be just. It seems like just close off the character in that type of way, and then like, you know, this person never has to play her again. Just play her as this one, you know, ultimate performance where they're just paying homage to Carrie Fisher.
So you raise a good point. Like there was plans that Episode 9 was going to be very Leia heavy. Mm-hmm. Now, because Colin Trevorrow was fired from directing that movie, and now it's J.J. Abrams, the whole script will, I don't know, entirely change or just large chunks of it will change. And obviously, even before that, they were like, oh God, we have to rejig this whole script. Actually, I'm curious if, like, because that was when she passed away. That was one of the main topics of conversation. We're like, I've heard that she's very big in that movie. What are we gonna do? I wonder if this is what fired Trevorrow, like trying to find a script. I could be completely wrong, but now that I'm thinking of it, I'm like, oh wow. But that's one problem about this I don't like, is that we know information about an incomplete piece of work, and now we're gonna be like, well, maybe when we watch it, we're like, well, this was this, and then that was that. It's like Rogue One, where it's like the trailer, we saw all these things, and then the reshoots changed the entire story to an extent.
Yeah.
It's like, well, wait, what about this scene? What about? I mean, I'm classic example. I have a shirt that's supposed to be the Apocalypse Now poster, but with X-Wing fighters, and it says "all the way," a line that Cassian says in the trailer, but doesn't say in the movie, which is not. It doesn't change the movie, but like that line was so like, wow, that's so cool in the trailer, and then someone made a shirt of it, and now I have a shirt that like it doesn't. It's like having a shirt that says "Revenge of the Jedi" on it. It's unfortunate. Like I think I've said this before, where it's like I don't like that we know all this information, because now it's like, are we going to judge Episode 9 because of the rewrites and the lack of Leia, or are we going to judge Last Jedi, where it's like, oh, I bet this would have made more sense if they didn't have to do something with the Leia character. So that's what I hate about this. I think we need to move on, because we're writing ourselves into a corner where it's like, maybe like we don't know what happened to Lando. We're gonna probably never hear about Lando. I hope we hear something. I mean, we're seeing him in Han Solo, but from what I can tell, because he's not in Episode 8 and that's been announced, he might not be in Episode 9. So it's like that character just disappears. Nothing bad happens. So why can't we just do that with Leia? It's unfortunate, and she's a much bigger character than Lando, but at some point we're just gonna have to face facts. So, I just think the next trilogy, as much as they say, is like, this is a new storyline with new characters in a new part of the galaxy. That's where we're going. So, I don't know. I guess my question to you though is, we recast her. What is better to recast? I think you said it actually. Do we recast her or do we CG? Or
I think for Episode 9 they should recast her, because again, I don't think, like, who knows, right? Because again, Rogue One is already a year-old movie. How much of CG added on and gotten better since then, right? And then Episode 9 is going to be another 2 years actually, because it's 2 years from this year. So that's almost 3 years apart. So maybe that CG could even get better. But I still kind of feel like for Episode 9, with the amount that I'm assuming Leia would be in it, maybe they would kind of like, dumb it down. Like, when they initially dubbed Episode 9 as Leia's movie, maybe they dumb it down a little bit more and just like, lessen her scenes, just if they do recast her. So it's like you're not laying so much on the shoulders of whoever would get casted for Leia.
Does the story still sort of remain the same, where it's a Leia heavy story, or is she just sort of there, sort of to give us that sense of she's still there?
Well, it's so hard to say, because again, we don't know what's going to be, but I kind of feel like, from what we heard was that they said that there was a big moment between Kylo and Leia in Episode 9 that was supposed to happen, right? So that has to stay in there. But again, like, if you put that scene in there and then just lessen some of the stuff building up to it, and maybe just build up to that scene, they could do that. I'm just saying, like, if you were gonna weigh into her a lot more in the original version, then weigh into her less, and then just build up that moment and just build up those scenes. Like, gives more spotlight to some of the other characters is what I'm saying. So, you could still have her the focus, but just not as much as before.
Well, what if like they have enough footage that they did not use? Like, how in Rogue One they're able to put Red Leader and Gold Leader in there from old footage from A New Hope. What if they did that somehow? Like, I don't know how they would go about that. I don't know why. There's probably a million different ways of doing it, because it's harder, because probably a lot of the footage they have they didn't use of Carrie Fisher is when she's younger. So,
Yeah.
but I would assume that there's probably a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor of Force Awakens that they could possibly use. I don't know. I guess I ask you this. Okay, whatever happens in Episode 8 happens, and somehow Leia isn't killed off in the storyline, but then she's just off screen for Episode 9. What if they're able to use some piece of footage where like she calls in or is a hologram, and they're like, they mention Leia, but you never see her. I mean, they do it all the time with TV when like actors don't want to be on the show anymore, or if they in the exact same situation, they pass away or they're unable to act. They're like, "Oh, have you talked to blah blah blah?" It's like, "Oh yeah, they're great. They're in Paris and they're on they're racing airplanes or something like that." If they were to do that with Leia, would you be satisfied? Because it's like you're not going to get anything else. Would you prefer her character killed off or slightly written out?
If I have those two
if
options,
you can recast her.
If I had those two options, if there was some type of footage that would exist that could just be put into Episode 9 that would work that way, then yeah, I'd prefer that. Like, I'm almost afraid, like, because the only tasteful way, like recently, that where an actor has died beforehand and the way they've handled it in the movie itself was actually in Star Trek Beyond, where they just, older Spock didn't get killed by anybody in that type of way. He just died because of old age, and they found out about it, and then they found a way to drive the story because of it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to see, like, again, they're using it as like, not clickbait, but just deception in the trailers, where there's the Kylo moment with him with his finger on the trigger, seemingly ready to kill Leia. That's I still believe that that's completely just a misdirect, and that's not going to happen in any type of way. And especially for them to kill her in that type of way, to just have Kylo kill her in that way would just be a little bit too much. So between the options, yeah, if there's some type of footage that just exists that way where you could just fit that in, yeah, sure. But I just kind of feel like with what they've been saying about Episode 9 and how much focus Leia was supposed to have, I feel like it would be maybe too much of a disservice to just shut out Carrie's, like, Leia's character that much. So that's why I still kind of feel like if they recasted her, that would be the best way, because even with like old stock footage, like I love the version of it, but like Superman 2 was one that like had its version that came out originally, but there was so much stuff shot by Richard Donner in his version, right? And then they brought it all back, and I like that version better. But at the same time, he didn't shoot enough to really make the movie flow and work as well as it could have.
Yeah,
right?
True.
Yeah, they needed more in order to make the movie, from like here to over here to even there. I don't even know if that's on camera, but either way, it just felt like that's what they need to do, is just, as opposed to relying on this footage that could work and just work as some type of send off into it. I think that just recast her at least for this one movie and just let somebody take the reins and bring the ball over the line. Like let them bring it on together, because Kathleen would be the one that would cast this person, and then obviously I would say Leia's family would have some type of say in it as well, and just pay tribute to Carrie by helping us celebrate this wonderful character and give her a proper end in Episode 9.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can agree on that. It's just,
there's no clear answer to this question, right? That's the thing, right? So whatever answer they choose is gonna annoy somebody or make somebody not like it. Yeah.
The real question is, if they were to cast her dog, Gary Fisher, in one of these movies, what kind of character would it be? Would it be just a regular dog, or would they put some kind of prosthesis on him to make him look like something else?
Well, would that be the first dog that would like ever appear in Star Wars? Like I know in a movie for sure, but like I'm wondering if there was like a dog randomly in the back of a shot in like Rebels or something like that, or I don't know.
Like just like in Attack of the Clones, where Anakin goes full Jedi or full Sith on on the Tusken Raider village. There's like some kind of like wolf.
Yeah, it kind of looked like
weird,
hyenas or something like that.
Hyena character, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they should do that. That would be a nice like regular viewers would be like, oh, there's a dog. That's weird. It's like, or like, but then people like us would know. It's like, oh, that's Gary Fisher. That'd be great.
And you know too that there would be like articles all over the place, and the people that didn't know that the dog was, they just read this article. They'd be like, "What the heck? We got to go watch this movie again," and then they would see the dog. So yeah, that'd be kind of funny.
It would be. It's too bad the ages aren't there, but like it'd be. I wouldn't be against Billy Lord playing a Leia character, even though she's already in. Because she's still like in her mid-20s, it's not going to work because Leia's got to be like 50 or 60. Carrie Fisher is that. But without mentioning the devil that wears Prada, if you could recast, who would you cast besides that actress?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, that's one of the popular ones. I mean, like, you can go like the Helen Mirren route maybe, but I don't know if she would really fit either. It'd be tough. I'd almost feel like maybe you do it unknown. Again, I don't really know like what actors and actresses like Carrie was actually close to. Like again, if there was a friend that she saw all the time, like obviously Demi Reynolds was one of those people, right? That she saw every day seemingly and spoke to every day. But she has passed already, and plus that was her mother, so it couldn't really be her anyway. But I wonder if there was just somebody that was close to her that just knew Carrie so well that she would know how to tastefully do the Leia character and just put it close to it. Because yeah, it's weird. Like you have some choices out there, and I don't know. Maybe the one that says that plays Florence Foster Jenkins might be the one to go with, but I don't know.
Yeah, I really think the only solution is to either not do it or put a CG, which is basically taking both sides and just recasting, but you can't see their face. No, I think we need to move on. I think it's unfortunate how it has to end, but like these are at the end of the day, you got to remember this is a business, and if it doesn't work the way they want it to, like they're gonna recast or they're gonna do what needs to be done. So it's like Carrie Fisher's unavailable to do her thing. Well, we redo the whole thing. Like I think. Yeah. Star Wars fans, it's something we can't comprehend at times because it's like, what do you mean? Like, this is lore. And you're like, wait, this is all fictional. So, I mean,
some people actually live in their mind in the Star Wars universe.
We can live in we should all be able to handle the fact that it's like, we're not going to get the Leia story that we thought we were going to get because we're already like, because of the purchase by Disney, they're redoing it to the way they want to. And that's, I have yet to see a terrible thing about it. It just sucks because all the things you knew about expanded universe now goes away. But we're getting things back. We have Thrawn. Now we have Thrawn 2.0, where it's not exactly the same story, but it's a similar character. And I'd argue that it's just as good. I feel like I know more about Thrawn than I did when like Heir of the Empire came out. So, I mean, if we can live with the new Thrawn, we can live without Leia. That's just my vote of no confidence. Is this the show we're on?
That is the show we're on.
Okay,
so, yeah, as per usual, those are our sides here. We did some, a little bit of debating here and there. Now it's your turn, guys. Comment below. Let us know what you think. Is the best way to recast Leia, find somebody that can do the role and just, take the ball over the line, like how I said over in episode 9? Or should they do just a digital version? Or even if there's some type of stock footage that lives out there that could be perfect to just put into episode 9 as this adequate way to wrap up her character, is that the way to do it? So comment below. I think James is going to put up a nice little poll up in the corner over there. Let us know, should she be recast? Should she not be recast? So that's our topic for today. Brock, thank you for joining me here on Vote with No Confidence. Where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at BSMink, and you can find me on LinkedIn at CoolGuy69.
Damn, I had Cool Guy 68. You went up me. Yeah, and as per usual, you can find me on Robert E. McDonald on both Instagram and Twitter, and download the Stardust app. I'm continuing to hoard it out. Check it out. I'm right in the middle of my countdown to Christmas marathon, where I'm doing 25 Christmas movies over 25 days. Check out those reactions, and Last Jedi's days away, so download the app and then react to the movie right after you see it. That's the coolest way to do it. It's quick.
Are you going to do like a pre-viewing and a post-viewing on Stardust, or just after?
I'm probably going to do both. I did that for a few movies where I'm right outside the theater and I just do a little video before that there, and then afterwards I'll do another one. Plus, we'll be doing a whole lot of stuff on Rebel Scum podcast after the movie with reactions and on Instagram and all our different media outlets. So yeah, it should be awesome. It's days away, Brock.
Yeah. Yeah. Like this whole conversation could be moot in a couple days, and we were so blind. So.
Yeah, because they might do something else. Maybe she's going to move to Connecticut in this movie or something at one point.
She's going to move to the bridges of Madison County and become Meryl Streep. Suck it, James.
No, James is ready to cut us off at any moment right now. But yeah, thank you again for watching this episode. May the force be with you. Always.
Always. Yay! Of others. Okay, bye.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.